Welcome to the ERwin Data Modeler and SAP Business Objects presentation. CA Technologies and SAP have partnered together to show how the metadata definitions you create in an ERwin data model can be leveraged in a business intelligence product like SAP Business Objects. This video will show you how to export this valuable information in CA ERwin Data Modeler into SAP Business Objects using the free integration bridge embedded in ERwin. The agenda for this presentation is basically a little bit of a light introduction on the challenges that we all have in terms of the business intelligence effort, and an introduction to the SAP Business Objects solution, and a short introduction to the CA ERwin Data Modeler solution, focusing solely on the business intelligence effort, and the ERwin and Business Objects working together. And then we'll have a short product demonstration. The business intelligence challenges. As you all know, we are constantly deluged with too much data to deal with and too little time to sift through it and work it out. We have more database platforms to support. There are fewer staff and resources able to support this kind of environment. And the question becomes, can data ever be managed as a business asset? We also need to deal with complex data environments. How do we manage this data complexity? We have multiple tools and applications within our IT organizations as well as in the business units, and we also have a lot of different databases to deal with and multiple audiences to communicate with in terms of helping everyone understand what is the record of source, what is the true meaning of the data assets that we're dealing with, and how can we leverage them in a good business intelligence platform. So being able to visualize these complex data structures is what we're all about. Know what data you have and create a visual inventory of that data, as well as be able to ensure that you have data consistency and reliability. We need to convince our business folks that the information that they are looking at is accurate, timely, and understandable. The SAP Business Objects solution. This is a very light overview of SAP Business Objects and basically what it focuses on. From a business standpoint, you need to be able to slice and dice and drill into the data, look at data trends, to analyze the data values in the organization, in certain aspects of the organization, in order to come up with different ways that they can leverage better marketing approaches, better sales approaches, as well as being able to be more efficient in your organization. From a technical standpoint, a tool like SAP Business Objects provides all the underlying technical environment in terms of being able to have access to the database and being able to support that graphical representation of the structure, picking up on things that may not be recorded in the database schema in terms of being able to identify relationships between tables, also creating those little code snippets that the business users, when they select an attribute, the code snippet can be leveraged in terms of collecting all those code snippets together in a query so that you can execute the query and provide the result set to the end user. All this kind of information is encapsulated into what we call a Business Objects Universe file. And there can be more than one Business Objects Universe file in Business Objects. And for the sake of this example, you can consider each universe file is access to one database structure. CA ERwin Data Modeler solution. Along with all the different kinds of reporting capability for communicating to your various audiences and providing diagrams to the various audiences on what the information data looks like and what it means, ERwin also provides out of the box what we call the Meta Integration Bridge. This allows you to communicate to other vendor products in terms of copying the information out of ERwin and pushing it to those other vendor products, or pulling them from the other vendor products for that matter. But in this example, we're just going to show you how ERwin can be used to feed this information and provide a good jump start in the SAP Business Objects world to begin to formulate the business intelligence solution. ERwin and Business Objects working together. CA ERwin Data Modeler and SAP Business Objects provides that solution for you. It expedites the process of building all the information in the SAP Business Objects world, and using ERwin as a record of source, you can guarantee that all the names will be the same, all the definitions, some of the technical aspects will be automatically populated in the SAP Business Objects world, and we can see the exact same business name both in the Business Objects software, in ERwin, as well as in any kind of textual reporting that you may be communicating around the organization. In other words, all personnel can begin to realize this evolutionary process of treating data as a business asset. A quick overview of how this can work between SAP Business Objects and ERwin Data Modeler. A simple example here, very high level example of an ERwin data warehouse gauging model that can be used to develop the ETL process to evolving to a data warehouse data mart model. Then you take that warehouse data mart model and you push it through the ERwin Meta integration bridge in order to populate and create or update a business objects data mart universe. And now we will have a short product demonstration. Here we have a star schema or a snowflake, and you can see in the upper right hand corner this is a fairly complex model here with a number of snowflakes. And in most data warehouse type designs, the relationships or the primary and foreign key relationships are not populating in the schema definition when you push it to the database. As a result, some of these BI tools like business objects are unable to pull all the relationships in to be able to identify what the relationships are as you're working in the BI product. All this information is readily available right here in ERwin. From a technical standpoint, all this information can be pushed over to the business intelligence tool like SAP Business Objects. In addition to this, from a business standpoint, if you right click on the assignment table here and open up the table properties, you can see that the definitions are present and all the information that's available inside of ERwin from a business standpoint can be pushed over to the SAP Business Objects product. Likewise, when you look at the column information, you can see that all the information is available there as well. So we're going to go ahead and export this information over to the Business Intelligence tool. Go to the File menu, make sure we save it first. Then we'll go to the File menu and we'll click on the export process. And we'll export to an external format. This launches the Meta integration product in terms of being able to pull information out of ERwin and push it to a target. The source on an export from ERwin will always be the ERwin model that's currently in memory. And there are parameters that you can set up, and you'll notice on the bottom of the page there's a lot of documentation and tips to influence how you want the product to pull the information out of ERwin and push it to your target environment. We'll leave all the defaults here. You can select any of these parameters, and there's an explanation on the bottom about what the parameter is and what it can be leveraged for. On the destination side, you will see that we have a connection to the SAP Business Objects Designer file, and we're creating a universe file for the Business Objects environment. It's not connecting right into the CMS in Business Objects. It's actually creating a universe file. However, the tool is connecting to the system where the Business Objects environment is present, and you need to be able to log into the Business Objects environment using the username and the password. So we'll just type in a password here, and then you can connect to the database connection that's established in the Business Objects environment, and you have to have one already created, because the API tool in Business Objects that is used for this particular creation needs to be present in order for this API to work. So there's a lot of other parameters here. You can go through these in detail. I'm not going to go through them now in the interest of time. There's also, you can actually export the universe file directly into the repository if you want to, but we're just going to create a universe file. So we'll click on Finish, and that will launch the export process. And what this process is doing now is exporting all the information out of ERwin's memory into an XML format, and then translating that to a universe file that can be used in the SAP Business Objects environment. Once this is done, you will see that we want to go to the bottom of the page here, and you can see that the export completed successfully. So we can close this. You can actually save it if you want to. And now we can go into the Business Objects environment to see what was populated over there. So we'll look up the paper person DW universe file that was created, and we'll double click on that to launch the Business Objects product. And we need to log in here again too. And now we can see the diagram here, including all the relationships from a technical standpoint and all the objects over here on the left hand side, all the tables. If you right click on the assignment table here, you can see that this particular information is populated as well. All the documentation is present. the exact same documentation that's provided in ERwin. And if you expand that and look at all the expanded information, and look at the employee ID, for example, you can see that the object properties provide all the information, the name of the element, the description, the character type was translated. There's only 4 character types in Business Objects, and the character type for the employee ID was a varchar2, and they actually change it to a character. So that's how easy it is to be able to get a good jump start in the SAP Business Objects world to be able to begin the business intelligence initiative. This concludes the demonstration on migrating information from ERwin Data Modeler to SAP Business Objects. Thank you.